The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. All right, anyway.
Now, President Bush, the former USA president, has made a very expensive gaffe. Expensive because it points to a truth that even President Bush himself may never agree to in public. Well, a slip of tongue, you call it, but it points to a very evident truth. It brings to mind, again, one of the most controversial decisions that the president made while he was in office as president. It is the American invasion of Iraq in 2003. Now, the president was speaking at the George W. Bush Center of the Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas.
In contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. All right, anyway. 75.
I'm not laughing, and I'm guessing nor are the families of the thousands of American troops and the hundreds of thousands of Iraqis who died in that war.
Well, you saw it. Now, like the MSNBC presenter did say, I totally agree. The audience shouldn't have been laughing at that. Now, when you remember all the lives that were lost on both sides, the troops, the monies, innocent lives, women and children, people ordinarily were just going by their normal lives until President Bush decided to do that infamous 2003 invasion. You would say that that decision has, affected many lives and will continue to affect lives even in the future. So I really don't think that was something that the audience should be laughing. If for anything, I think an awful silence would have made more sense. You see, it also goes to point to the fact that, the decisions that we make, whether good or bad, have a way of always coming to haunt us. It appears that even the President George W. Bush does realize that it was a wrong move that he made in that invasion of 2003. And, there's a way that nature makes us admit truths that we ordinarily will not admit in public. He actually did say that, including Iraq, actually, under his breath. He probably didn't know that the mic would pick that.
The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. All right, anyway.
Even President Bush does realize that the invasion of 2003 was a bad idea. So I guess it was a case of President Bush pointing the finger at Russia, and the other fingers were actually pointing at himself. That's life for you. I want us to look at the Wire's position on this President Bush situation. I actually like the perspective they are bringing to it. The Wire says in an article titled George Bush Gaffe is not just a slip of tongue. This was published on May 22. It says, Iraq exists in Bush's unconscious, but no longer as the enemy. Iraq exists as a reminder of his folly. And it continues and says, in his public comments on the war in Ukraine, ex-president of the United States, George W. Bush, made a historic gaffe. Reading from the prepared text, but taking his eyes off it at the last moment, Bush blotted out a momentous truth. The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. The moment he realized his first pass, he admitted under his breath, Iraq too, and made his way out of the embarrassment, saying, anyway, 75. Bush gaffe is historic in all that it reveals about wars, nations, and certain kinds of political leaders in the world. It is rather effortless to begin with. How Bush slipped into mentioning Iraq while speaking about Ukraine as a victim country of war. Bush revealed that the ghost in his head seemed quite active at 75. The ghost of war haunts you, especially the wars that you waged against others, wars that were unjustified and brutal. I guess, what can we say now? You want to read the article on The Wire, just go to the description section and you will find a link there and you can get to read. Just click and you get to read the article. So, like I said, this is one historic gaffe that we will probably remember for a long time, not just because it was said by President Bush, but that it points to a truth that even President Bush himself may not want to admit in public. Well, people make mistakes, people make decisions that they will have to probably live with the consequence. I guess we can only learn from other people's supposed mistake. That is what I do, and I hope that you can also consider that too. Now, please drop your comment, how you received the Bush incident, and tell me what you really think about the whole episode. So please subscribe to my channel. Please like, share your comments. I always ask for you to share your comments because this is a conversation, this is a discourse, even though, like I always say, it's all about my opinion, my perspective that I put forward here, looking at facts before me, the information before me. But you can contribute. We're building a community here. You can contribute, you can share your opinion. I promise that I will look at your comments and also reply. As you can already see on your screen, subscribe, like, share if you don't mind on your social media, WhatsApp, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram, and all of that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. God bless you, my Naija people. Una do well.